Hello. I am so glad that this video found you because you have no idea how many times I have felt the way that you are feeling. Feeling depressed and pulled down from the past, or spiraling and anxious about the future that you can't even exist in the present moment. I know how this feels, and I want to tell you the concepts and the mindset shifts that I'm going to share in this video transformed my life. When I was 14, I was involved in drugs and partying and hookup culture in the Miami party scene after my dad had passed away from brain cancer. There was severe financial and emotional burdens on my family. I was surrounded by people who didn't care about me, who took advantage of me, and it was just a bad scene. And even after I removed myself from that situation, my nervous system was in such fight or flight that I had no idea how to manage my emotions, how to manage my thoughts. I was constantly in a state of spiraling over the past, of anxiety, regular depressive episodes and cycles. So my love, do I feel where you're coming from? I absolutely do. And I want you to know how possible it is to completely shift your life. So let's get to it. You have been taught, subconsciously or not, that there are certain thoughts and emotions that are better than others. Now, I don't know if you've realized, but this makes the situation worse, because if you spend your life waiting for the good days, waiting for the moments where you feel good and you're on a high, this completely takes the power out of your own hands. If you are waiting for the moment where you stop spiraling and stop feeling anxious or get out of this depressive loop, the power is now outside of you because you are waiting. And this is where I would like to introduce the mirror method. My love, everything is a reflection. I want you to bring to mind a desire. It could be to have these thoughts and feelings go away. It could be a certain partner or a job. I want you to notice the feeling state that arises in you if you were to get this thing. For example, if you really want a partner and you're craving that partner, it could be love, or it could be novelty, it could be excitement. Or if you want that job, you might be craving the feeling state of security, of peacefulness. If you want your thoughts to go away, it could be a sense of control or of peace. This means that everything is internal. What you are craving is not the thing itself, it's a feeling state. And now I remember when I was looping over a toxic ex and I was so triggered by this person, I would think about him multiple times a day and have that trigger fill my body. I remember thinking that the resolution was in him, that I needed his validation, that I just needed one more conversation, or I needed to prove myself in front of him by having like a revenge glow up or something toxic that social media tells you that you need to do. The resolution is not in this person, because what I was craving was the feeling state of security. I had a validation wound, and I needed to truly validate and like and approve myself, because I was not going to get it from this person. I was not going to get it from the external world. So, if you are waiting for an experience, for a person, for things to change outside of you, you are going to be caught in a loop where the power is never in your own hands. And so, my love, I know it might be so bad right now. Like, trust me when I say I have been in places where my life looked terrible, but you have the full power of creating that internal state within you first. Things change outside of you when you change on the inside first. To use the partner example again, I remember I was wanting a long-term partner for so long, for years, and I kept on attracting emotionally unavailable men who didn't really respect me, men with wandering eyes, just bad men. And I remember thinking that all men were like this and that all men are bad people because that is what I was attracting. There are going to be bad people and toxic people no matter where you go. They go to everyone. So it is up to you to have the standards of not allowing them into your life. It was the internal change that I did, where I was saying, you know what? I'm going to focus on loving friendships. I'm going to cultivate my hobbies. I'm going to sink my energy into my research, and I'm going to focus on me. And I'm not going to allow myself to make space for these toxic men anymore. When I made that decision to shift the internal, that is when I attracted my dream partner. And it happens very quickly. Spiraling usually comes from desire. You have a desire and you are telling yourself that you are either not good enough for it, or that it is outside of you and that you need to wait for something, you need to fix something, you need to get the validation from someone or something. You need to break that loop because you are just going to stay stuck in it. If you don't teach yourself at some point in your life that you are the only person that can fully validate you, you are the only person that controls your internal state, you are going to stay stuck in this loop forever. For the rest of your life, you are going to stay stuck in this loop. You have been taught at some point in your life that these emotions and these thoughts that you're experiencing are not okay. So you need to push them down. You need to try and find evidence for them. You need to loop over it a million times. You need to justify it or get medication for it. I mean, of course, consult your doctor. I'm not a doctor. But you need to push it down and not experience it. You're telling yourself that it's not okay. And I want you to envision your emotions like a lazy, rapid river, right? If you were to just lay on your back and allow the water to take you and go on this river, you would be fine. There might be some moments that are a lot quicker and like scarier than others. There might be some moments that are super soft and peaceful. But if you were to just lie on your back, you would be okay. However, if you were to be in this river and try and stand up, that is you trying to push your thoughts and emotions down. When you're standing up in this river and all of this water is hitting your face and you're trying so hard to stay firm, that looks so silly. But psychologically, that is what you are doing when you are trying to find more evidence, when you are trying to feed the thought loops, when you are trying to push down these emotions. Rather than pushing them down, what would it look like for you to just lie on your back and allow it all to come in? When you're looping over something, that is a wound there. Your body is so smart and it is trying to tell you exactly what it needs. But if you are trying to push it down, avoid it, distract yourself, watch more videos, party, do all of these things as distractions, you are not allowing your body and your mind to speak to you. And you can practice this with meditation by becoming the observer of your thoughts rather than just identifying with them. You can practice this by going on a walk and being mindful of what is coming up and just watching it. However, a practice that has completely changed my life and my relationship to my thoughts is naming them. I invite you to get a pen and paper and write down the specific thought patterns that you have and name them. When I feel super low energy and depressed and just dark and small, that is Jane. Jane is my depressed voice. When I have a period of high anxiety and a lot of intrusive thoughts, that is Virgil. When I'm being very perfectionist and worried about the future and hyper fixated on failure and trying to make everything perfect, that is Oliver. I literally want you to take your specific thought processes that aren't helping you and put names to them. because that makes you no longer the observer and you are actually able to have a conversation with them. Does it sound a little crazy? Yes. But will it change your life? It will. Because here's the thing. Society teaches you that spiraling and all of these thoughts and emotions that you're experiencing right now is not okay. The reason why you want them to go away is because you haven't developed the skills of understanding that they are okay and how to deal with them. Most people think that self-love is just affirmations and bubble baths and eating junk food. No. Self-love, real self-love, building a relationship with yourself is sitting in the mud with you, is being able to look at the darkest parts of yourself and have a conversation with them. It is being the peacemaker between your highest highs and your lowest lows and realizing that both parts are acceptable and deserving of love and kindness. And you will start to notice the more you allow these thoughts and emotions to come up, the more you literally name them like I do and speak to them with kindness and just ask them, what is it that you need? Hi, Jane. That was a dark thought. Are you okay? What can I do for you right now? Do you want me to just sit here with you in the silence? Do you want to just share what you're thinking right now? The more you talk to yourself like that, the more powerful you become because you are not so scared of your own mind. You are no longer the identifier of your thoughts. You don't have to push them down anymore. There is nothing to run away from because you are becoming your own best friend. And that is a skill that society does not teach, but the responsibility is in your hands. And if you don't teach yourself how to love yourself, nothing external, nothing outside of you is going to fill that void within you. How would you show up for a best friend? How would you show up for a wounded, scared little puppy on your doorstep that is clearly hurting? Those are the sides of you that you are trying so hard to avoid. They just want to be listened to. They just want you to hold space for them with kindness. And you'll notice, no matter how terrifying they feel, no matter how scared you are of what they have to say, you'll notice they're not that bad. Jane has told me some of the craziest, darkest stuff. And I remember feeling so terrified of her, even when I first named her and when I first drew her out and gave her that picture. I remember even being frustrated when I started getting those dark thoughts. I would be like, this is so annoying. Why can't you leave me alone? But again, this is a skill and this is a relationship. The more you embrace and welcome that side of you with compassion, you'll realize that you have nothing to be scared of. You have nothing to push down. You are just a human. And the more you allow it to flow, the less it will try to cling on to you, the less resistance you'll have because you'll realize that none of it is inherently bad. All of it is just the human experience. I love you guys so much, and I'm sending you so much love and light on this journey. If this video resonated with you, tell me your story down below in the comments or send me an email. I love hearing from you guys. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.